Morning guys, Dean here from Back to Nature. Just thought on a day like today we get out and about. A little secret location on the River Usk this time, not far from me. Just sort of show you a few things while we're here, and I'll show you around with the camera and see how beautiful it is. It's a stunning part of the world, this. So as you can see here, like I said, this is the River Usk. If you look here on the ground, you can see this demarcation line here. And that is obviously where the river levels have been of recent. It's not too bad here. It doesn't bring up so much, deadfall. But on the River Wye, the deadfall is huge. But, okay, well I'll come back to you in a bit, guys. Yeah, I just thought I'd give you a panoramic view of this bit here, guys. On a day like today, it just makes all the difference. I suppose there's a lot of parts of the world, on beautiful days they look stunning, but this is one of my local haunts. I have a nice couple of nights out here a year, practice a bit of bushcraft. This particular stretch is very good for the signal crayfish, which I have to say makes a lovely little snack. Right, let's move on. This particular stretch is well renowned for its otters. The right time of the year. I've seen the little kits down here a couple of times. But the nice thing about this particular area is it's not well known about for its beauty. So nature tends to be left alone, which is always the best way, as I'm sure we all know. There's about 6-7 different types of rapid, and I'm heading way up to an area that I camp with a beautiful rapid and a big hole the other side. Hi guys, we've just taken 5 and stopped for a cup of tea. This particular little spot, we'll show you around with the camera in a second. But this is quite an emotional trip for me back here. I lost a very good friend of 13 years, my little dog. He's a Springer Spaniel called Jerry. And he was my best friend for 13 years. And I've not been back to this spot since I lost him, so it's quite an emotional trip. But all the same, it's I couldn't not come back. It's a beautiful spot, and I know he's close to me when I sit here. So yeah, so we thought we'd stop for a cup of tea and show you guys around this particular little spot. So enjoy. Just wanted to show you guys, I've obviously stopped for a cup of tea, got the old gas stove going there. But I wanted to show you, I'll do a kit rundown at a later date, but I wanted to show you the 2 most important pouches that I've got on one of my everyday rucksacks. This one, the first aid kit, not for me of course, but nearly everybody I take with me. And this one, this is the most important. This is the brew kit. You've got tea and powdered milk, and then we've got coffee, we've got cappuccino sachets, there's some coconut butter, there's some coconut, yeah, solid coconut oil that I use for everything from oiling knives to cooking to using on your skin if the sun's quite bad. But yeah, I just thought I'd show you that anyway. Hard to imagine. I wonder if our ancestors before us actually came to spots much like this and realised the sheer beauty. I think it's the 21st century man that is so wound up with the hustle and the bustle of just everyday life that when we are fortunate enough to steal a bit of time out, come to a spot like this and immerse ourselves in nature and realise the beauty of it. And I'm sure our ancestors would have just, this is everyday life. So I ask the question, are we lucky or are they lucky? Them for not knowing the sheer beauty because they weren't aware of 21st century man, or us being lucky to be able to steal a little bit of this beauty but ultimately live in 21st century? Beggars the question. As you can see, the gorge itself, a little bit of information. These gorges were formed hundreds of thousands of years ago by ice flows. And basically the gorge itself was ground out by the ice flows coming through at least as high as we are now. And over the years it's just depleted, obviously, to a valley bottom, hence the river flow now. But we know this by looking at certain areas and seeing huge, hundreds of ton boulders that have just been deposited by the ice flows over the years. It's something to be in awe of, I think. I just thought I'd take a couple of minutes out before we get on our way back up the gorge to just do a little bit of a demonstration for you good people on YouTube. Basically, I want to introduce you to a good friend of mine. This is Kate. No, that aside, I wanted to light fire using my hands and timber on its own. I think it's important that we all are able to light fire while we're out in the environment, and a lot of people tend to take the bushcraft so seriously. There's a bit of humour missing in it, I think. And after all, bushcraft, what is bushcraft? Getting out, loving the outdoors with like-minded people, appreciating it, looking after it, the list goes on. But one of mine is obviously humour. So I'm going to do a little demonstration here on how to light fire just using my hands and timber. What you do, get a nice area. Obviously I'm not actually going to light fire, but for the purpose of the demonstration, I'll just use a little piece of leather here. What I should be doing is literally throw in some sparks or a flame just here in front of us. So let's just assume, for the sake of the demonstration, that I've got a nest here ready to light. What I would do is first grab something like this that I always keep with me. What you do is obviously you've got to select dry timber when using it, but I usually use 2 bits of timber at the same time, and ideally you want to use this end, and it's quite easily identified because it's got a different colour than the timber itself. Then what you do is, obviously using friction, what we do is strike it ideally away from us and into obviously your bundle or your nest, like so. So there's a demonstration for everybody. This is obviously with a bit of humour thrown in, but this is lighting fire by friction. just taken a little bit of a trek down to the bottom here. You can see the valley bottom and the amount of water flow here, and it's so clean. Drink straight from it. But I thought while I was here I'd introduce you to my camera person. Let's there we go. Julie, YouTube Julie. How you doing?
Good.
All right.
Yeah, I'd rather be on the other side of the camera.
Yep, rather be on the other side of the camera.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. There we go. So I've even introduced you to my camera person today. Right, we're going to get off and head up the gorge this way and see what other little beautiful spots we can show you guys. So come along for the ride. Nearly back at the vehicle now, but we're constantly, you know, looking around and observing things and seeing things, and my keen-eyed spotter has noticed a absolute lovely stick. Now I make my own sticks, as I've said in previous videos, or one of the Wiltshire Man's videos. A number of uses for resting your binocular on top, but just general out and about in the country. Stick's always useful. And there's one here that I'm just going to take with a Laplander. Hazel's absolutely fantastic. It grows back. I mean, every 8 years hazel should be coppiced anyway. In certain areas like this, that's thicker than your wrist. The general ideal is that it's anything thicker than your wrist. I mean, it should be about as thick as your forearm, and then it's taken. Works out at about every 8 years. But obviously this one's not been coppiced or taken back in any way. I'm just going to take this one out, be quite selective. There we go. What I'll do with this one is we've got 2 shoots coming off this one. This is where I'm going to cut it here to make the thumbstick. So that's the piece that I want. These are the pieces that obviously I don't want. So what I shall do is take that one off. There we go. And with this one, I'll push that one back up in there. Pull that through till I meet ground, which is there, and then push it in, say 6 inches, 5 or 6 inches, and that's got a good chance of actually taking. So I've taken this one, which I'm going to use, and I've put one back, which has got a good chance of taking. So there we go. And again, this one's a little bit thicker, it's probably not going to take, but I'll push that in the ground as well. So there we go. I shall keep that as it is now, take it on the vehicle, and I shall cut that down to about eye height. Obviously how I do that to mark it up is about there. So I'll probably, in fact, I'll cut that off while I'm here. And there we go. One stick. Right, we're on our way back now. We've got about 15-20 minute ride. It's been a great afternoon, really thoroughly enjoyed it, down in some of the spots that we love. So until the next time out, thanks very much for watching. If you want to leave comments at the bottom, by all means do, and I'll come back to you as fast as I can. But like I say, until the next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.